In July 1942, under the burning skies of North Africa, a small group of men prepared to do the impossible. Their mission? Drive straight into a German airbase, then the dead of night and destroy it. They were outnumbered, outgunned, and miles behind enemy lines, but they were not ordinary soldiers. They were the SAS, the Special Air Service. And this is the night they rewrote the meaning of courage. The war in North Africa was brutal. Rommel's Afrika Korps dominated the sands, their airfields controlling the skies. Every British convoy, every Allied supply line, was hunted by the German Luftwaffe. But one man, Major David Stirling, had a plan to strike back. A tall, quiet Scotsman, Stirling believed small teams of elite commandos could cripple the enemy from within, not by fighting massive battles, but by destroying their lifeline, aircraft, and fuel. As he put it, "We won't wait for them to come to us. We'll go to them." By July 1942, Stirling's men had already proven themselves, sabotaging airfields, planting bombs, and vanishing into the desert like ghosts. But now, they were planning something different, something utterly insane. Instead of sneaking in on foot, they would drive directly into the airfield with heavily armed jeeps. Each jeep was mounted with twin Vickers K machine guns, weapons that spat fire at 1,200 rounds per minute. Their target, Sidi Haneish airfield, deep in Axis-controlled Egypt. Intelligence suggested more than 30 German and Italian aircraft were parked on the runways. Captain Paddy Mayne, a man known for being calm but fierce, simply said, "If this works, they'll never see it coming." July 26, 1942. The desert was quiet, the kind of silence that feels like it's waiting to explode. 20 sand-colored jeeps rolled slowly through the dunes. No headlights. Only the pale light of the moon guided them. At the front were Major Stirling and Captain Paddy Mayne, his second-in-command. Behind them, the men of the SAS, many barely in their 20s, faces, wrapped in scarves, hearts pounding. One soldier whispered, "Feels like we're driving straight into hell." They were 50 miles behind enemy lines. One wrong turn, and they'd vanish into the desert forever. But they kept moving, engines low, nerves like steel. Just before midnight, the men reached the ridge overlooking Sidi Haneish. Below them, the airfield lay exposed. Rows of German bombers glimmered under the moonlight. Mechanics worked under floodlights, completely unaware. Stirling spoke quietly. "All right, lads, this is it. Keep tight. Hit hard. Mercy." The engines roared. The jeeps rolled down the slope, 20 desert ghosts descending into fire. The night exploded. Tracer rounds ripped across the airfield as the SAS jeeps tore through rows of parked aircraft, guns blazing. German soldiers scattered, thinking at first it was an air raid. But then they saw them, the jeeps. Headlights now flashing, machine guns firing from every angle. "Light 'em up. Burn every one," soldier yelled. Fuel drums erupted like volcanoes, flames roaring into the night sky. The heat was blinding. One after another, German bombers exploded, their wings torn apart by bullets. In less than 10 minutes, the airfield was total chaos. The SAS zigzagged between planes, cutting down anything that moved. Some men threw grenades into open cockpits. Others blasted engines until they caught fire. Captain Mayne shouted over the din, "Keep moving! Don't stop for anything!" A bullet tore through one of the jeeps, killing the gunner instantly. Another vehicle hit a ditch and flipped, but the rest kept driving, weaving through the inferno. By the time the Germans organized a response, it was too late. The SAS were already vanishing back into the darkness, leaving behind a field of burning wrecks. For hours, they drove, dodging patrols and avoiding aircraft searching for them at dawn. Behind them, smoke from Sidi Haneish rose into the desert sky. They had destroyed 37 aircraft with the loss of only 2 men. One soldier managed a faint smile, not bad for a night's work. The raid crippled Rommel's air support and stunned the German command. How had a handful of men in jeeps done what entire divisions couldn't? The answer was simple: courage and chaos. When Stirling reported back to British HQ, few believed the scale of the destruction. But reconnaissance confirmed it. The wreckage stretched for miles. The SAS hadn't just raided an airfield. They had invented a new kind of warfare, fast, unpredictable, and devastating. From that night on, the legend of the SAS began to grow. whispered across the desert, feared by the enemy and respected by all. Even Rommel himself reportedly called them the Desert Devils. David Stirling would later be captured in 1943, but his creation lived on. The SAS continued to strike across Africa, Italy, and France. They became the model for every modern special forces unit in the world. And it all began that one night, July 26, 1942, when a small band of men drove into a German airbase and changed the face of warfare forever. They weren't looking for glory. They were fighting for survival, for freedom, and for each other. That night, under the desert stars, the SAS didn't just win a battle. They wrote their legend in fire. If you were inspired by this incredible story of courage and chaos, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more cinematic history stories. Ring that bell so you never miss a new upload, and tell us in the comments which legendary mission we should bring to life next.